Hi, everybody. Welcome back, and thanks for being a part of the program and spending a little time with us this time on Wednesday the 16th, which officially puts us over the hump and halfway through the month of December, and, of course, one day closer to Christmas, for which I have a forecast that might put you in the spirit a little more than the beautiful weather, for the most part, that we've had to enjoy for the past several days and as of late. On that note, a cold front tonight will change things up. It will give us some rain, some showers into your tomorrow, some cold air on the back side of it, and on top of that, we've got an upper level disturbance that could equal snow showers this Friday. Temperatures will rebound just a bit for your first few days of your holiday week, but all in all, well, we'll just save that surprise for you in just a few moments when we do get to our forecast. A great deal of news to cover tonight. Let me say this already. In-house and working on at this time, the McGoffin County Library Board meeting, which was earlier this week. McGoffin County Fiscal Court met earlier this afternoon. Johnson Fiscal and Paintsville City Council met earlier this week. McGoffin County Board of Education meets tomorrow night, and I'm going to try my best to get as much of that programming and information to you before the week's end, and of course I'm suspecting that will be in addition to a lot of other news and information. Tonight I have the unfortunate duty of reporting on a Johnson County young man, a father of one, expecting another child, who also left behind his wife today after a fatal logging accident in McGoffin County. We'll take you to the scene as close as we can. We've also got his name and identity and some details, a few at this hour, in regards to funeral services, at least where they're going to be held and where the arrangements are to be made. It's a terrible, terrible, tragic accident earlier today. We'll also talk about a situation that I briefly mentioned yesterday, not one Grinch, but a pair of them, simply staggering the amount of items that were stolen from porches, we believe, from a 3-county area, and they were caught in McGoffin County yesterday afternoon by a resident who was at home at the time of the theft. You're going to have to see it to really understand what all they have been up to over the past few days and what they are responsible and accused of stealing. And I've got some video of a burglary that the authorities in Johnson County are asking me to pass along to you tonight in hopes that you can help them solve that case. The Fed has done something they haven't done in nearly 10 years. They have done so because they believe that our economy has gotten better and stronger. That in just a second. I do have to make mention, with all the local news and information that we have tonight, that there was no room to show or go into any other detail about Jordan Smith, except to say that I suspect the cheers at my house last night were as loud, if not louder, than anywhere else across the state of Kentucky, as it was an ending that most everyone assumed would happen. You know, you just never know with those things. It is a public contest at the end. But indeed, that young man from Harlan has simply put everyone musically, and for a whole lot of other reasons, just about his character, and certainly a deserved win. We certainly are so glad to be able to share that with everyone else of his fellow Kentuckians this evening. We wish him well. I suspect we'll be hearing, hopefully maybe seeing some more of him sometime in the near future, but hearing from him certainly is a safe bet. Back to the Federal Reserve. They did hike interest rates today for the first time in nearly 10 years, signaling its belief that the U.S. economy has largely overcome the damage left behind from the 2007, 8, and 9 financial crisis. The U.S. Central Bank's Policy Setting Committee raised the range of its benchmark interest rate by 1/4 percentage point to between 0.25 and 0.5%, ending a long debate about whether the economy was strong enough to withstand higher borrowing costs. The Fed said in its policy statement, which was adopted unanimously by everyone in the committee, that, quote, the committee judges that there has been considerable improvement in labor market conditions this year and is reasonably confident that inflation will rise over the medium term to its 2% objective. The Fed also made clear that the rate hike was a tentative beginning to what they said would be a gradual tightening cycle, and that in deciding its next move, it will put a premium on monitoring inflation, which remains mired below target at this time. It's one of those things you just don't want to have to report. And right here at the holidays, of course, that only makes matters indeed worse, if they could ever be, and hard to imagine that they could. An area family has lost a loved one and are in mourning this evening after a logging accident claimed the life of a young Johnson County man. It was an operation that was going on property located here in McGoffin County. An accident reported by a co-worker just earlier today. Indeed, a terrible accident of the most tragic nature. An area young man killed today in a logging accident from Johnson County. It happened here in Magoffin County, very near the Johnson-Magoffin County line on 460. It was on property behind a Magoffin County residence where, from what I understand, a freelance logging company, as it was put to me, was taking down timber in that area. The young 26-year-old Staffordsville man, a contract laborer with the company, was pronounced dead at the scene by Magoffin County Deputy Coroner Brian Parker.
Once we got on the scene, we determined that one of the guys had been hit with a tree. I'm not sure if he's the cutter or just standing by, and he tried to move backwards and outrun the tree, and it caught him. 911 did advise us they were doing CPR with the subject on the scene through the phone, but he told me later that he tried to do what he could, and he just knew that there wasn't much that could be done. But he did continue till the paramedic got on the scene, and the paramedic took over from there. I had paramedics on the scene, EMTs on the scene, and there wasn't anything we could do for him.
After some further inquiry later this afternoon, and after a release from Magoffin County Deputy Coroner Brian Parker, we've learned that the victim was identified as 26-year-old Derek Matthew Hanna of Staffordsville. He was also said to have been the operator of the chainsaw just before the accident happened, and just as the tree began to fall, he took a run downhill to get away and then was pinned beneath a large limb of that tree. As was confirmed by Parker, and as is customary or standard for this type of an incident, Hannah's body was sent to the state medical examiner for an autopsy. He also tells me that per his knowledge, Hannah leaves behind a wife, one son, with another child on the way. We're also told that Jones Preston Funeral Home of Paintsville will be in charge of arrangements. I've got a couple of cases of theft to report to you tonight, one on a grand scale in my opinion, the other one not so small in nature. We'll start with that one. The Johnson County Sheriff's Department has forwarded me this security surveillance video taken by a homeowner's system after two men pull up in a black pickup truck, a better description I'll be able to give you in just a second, to a Johnson County residence. They went in through a garage door and then helped themselves literally to a truckload of personal belongings of the homeowners. The video is from a Sturgill residence on Cottle Fork in the Oil Springs community of Johnson County, and it shows two men pulling up at around 3:49 in the a.m. in the morning of December the 13th in what appears to be a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck, extended cab, possibly a crew cab. We believe more than likely an extended cab Tacoma, what appears to be a four-wheel drive pickup. You can see them pull in. It's a dark-colored pickup truck. Can't say black for sure. This is black and white footage, but definitely a dark-colored pickup truck. You can see them pull in. You can see them back up to the garage door, and initially we'll see one person get out, that being the driver of the pickup truck, who gets out with a flashlight, begins to look around, and then starts to shine a light through one of the garage doors looking for what items might be inside that they can steal. He continues to look around for quite some time. A few moments later, the passenger will get out of the pickup truck and continue to do the same as the driver. I can't see that the passenger is wearing any gloves unless they are a light color. The driver appear to be possibly doing so. They both had their heads or faces covered. They finally made entrance through a garage door into the Sturgill's basement garage, and then once inside, started to take everything they could get their hands on that they thought would be maybe appropriate or good for a quick sale, items that are customarily the target of thieves. Once inside, they started to bring out trip after trip of items, weed eaters, not one, but at least two, various tools that were reported to have been stolen, even a ladder, and even a small push cart or hand cart, the equivalent of a two-wheeled wheelbarrow, in my opinion, all of which were loaded up into the pickup truck, and after which they left the scene. As of right now, police are still trying to gather information about the possible identity as to whether or not they may be from Johnson, maybe Magoffin, or even another county, but they are believed to be men from at least the local area, and they're hoping that someone might recognize the pickup truck, maybe their gait, how they move, maneuver, something of that nature, something about this video that might set off a light bulb in someone's mind, causing them to call the Johnson County Sheriff's Department at 789-3411. This is only one of two thefts that I have to report to you tonight, and what I believe is one of perhaps many, many, many more that have taken place in the viewing area in the past just few weeks and few months alone. And during the holidays is often a time when residents are worst hit by thieves. If you have any information that you think might be of any importance at all, please call the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. More on the other theft report in just a moment. This birthday and other calendar announcements brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. A happy 32nd birthday shout goes out tonight to Maddie Rose Rao from your dad Harlan, from your mom Stella, Siggs and Riggs, us here at the newsroom as well, and a whole lot of family and friends. Happy 32nd to you, Maddie Rose Rao. I'll read through the rest of tonight's community calendar announcements, a bit of a glitch in that particular portion of the program tonight. A reminder about the Country Ham Project at the Extension Office. You pay $40, you get a ham, and for 2 or 3 meetings throughout the year, they'll hang it in-house there, and you'll get to learn how to make your ham, how it works, the history of it, and as well as the science. This might even be a great Christmas gift for somebody. Literally, the kids would certainly, I believe, love it as well. And at the end of it, you're going to have your own cured country ham. You have to register by this Tuesday. Call 349-3216. And, that would make a pretty good Christmas present, I think. The support group meeting for the McGoffin County Cancer Support Group, that is going to be tomorrow, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening in the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center in the back near where the daycare was or is. Don't forget about the Christmas Gala this Friday at the Extension Office. Members of the McGoffin County Cattle Association are hosting the meal. It's a wonderfully prepared turkey dinner with all the fixings, cobbler and ice cream as well. And you can come and eat with them for just $12. There's going to be live entertainment. The North McGoffin and McGoffin County High School Christmas choirs will be there. All proceeds will go toward funding a scholarship for a graduating senior. And the FFA organization and those club members will also be serving. So a wonderful evening, wonderful cause. We hope you can help them. The Emmanuel Baptist Church at Pleasant Hill has their Christmas program set for this Sunday at 6 o'clock. New Life Worship Center on Rock House Road is presenting theirs. I've got those backwards time-wise. Nevertheless, at New Life Worship Center on Rock House Road, they're presenting a gift for Santa this Saturday evening at 6. And it's time to weigh down. You can become the biggest loser, win the biggest prize. It is an event that takes place at our extension office. They've been doing it for a while. They'll meet every Monday starting on the 4th of January, which is just around the corner. They'll do so for 6 weeks and track weight, taste some recipes with some optional physical activity included as well. And the one who has the biggest loss of weight, the biggest loser, win a prize at the end of these 6 weeks. Call the extension office at 349-3216. Turning to funeral service announcements brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. We've learned of the passing of 74-year-old Mildred Louise Arnott of Paintsville, who passed away on the 14th. Former librarian at the Sagersville High School. She was married to Garland Arnott, who survives. Visitation, I'm told, is set for 5 to 8 tomorrow at the Paintsville Funeral Home, while funeral mass will be at 1 o'clock this Friday at St. Michael's Catholic Church in Paintsville. And, of course, as we referred to earlier in the passing of 26-year-old Derek Matthew Hanna of Johnson County, while his body has been sent off for an autopsy, we only know at this time that Jones and Preston Funeral Home will be in charge of arrangements. They are to be made in the coming days, and we'll pass those along to you just as soon as they are forwarded to us. For now, we'll be right back after these messages. I'm sorry, or maybe not, but being the victim of a theft is never a good thing. It is simply frustrating, discouraging, and disgusting, and it happens far too often. Tonight's story will certainly drive that point home. Christmas time, well, a lot of gifts, of course, being ordered and delivered. So it's not just a normal situation. A lot of folks have a lot of time in trying to pick out that gift. A lot of money maybe in ordering that gift, waiting on it to get there, and then, of course, a timeline that's usually pretty tight, and all of a sudden your gift's not there as it's supposed to be. Could you imagine the frustration? Many of you have had to go through it. Well, you have to track it down. Where'd it go? Was it delivered? It can be 10 times the headache of any other time of the year. Well, that's what a lot of residents have had to go through for the past several days, maybe even longer than that. We're still uncertain. Two men were caught last afternoon in McGoffin County on what appeared to be a route through several counties with literally a van load of items that police believe were taken from the front doorsteps and porches of homes in McGoffin, Johnson, and Floyd counties. They're still lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, or were at least at last report, with more charges pending. If ever there were a time to make a reference to the Grinch that stole Christmas, or two that stole Christmas, well, this is it. A complaint came in yesterday after a resident who lives very near the Johnson-McGoffin County line on Route 40 didn't see someone take the package, but heard something and then saw a van rushing down the driveway and then leaving the area, and then noticing that her packages on the front porch were gone. This led to the arrest of two Johnson County men and the recovery of dozens and dozens of to-be Christmas gifts that were taken from porches and from houses in a three-county area: Johnson, McGoffin, and Floyd so far.
I was in my living room when I heard something on my porch. And when I went out, I noticed that the package that I'd had delivered to my home was missing. And there was a maroon minivan leaving my driveway, going pretty fast. And I noticed that they turned right on Route 40 going toward Firesville. So I was able to call 911 to put me through to the dispatch in McGoffin County and advise them that the vehicle had left my driveway and that they were heading that way on Route 40.
McGoffin County Sheriff Carson Montgomery says that one of his deputies, Neil Adams, was near the Route 40 area at the time and was able to just momentarily make a traffic stop on the suspected vehicle. And what they found inside was quite simply staggering. The number of packages and items that were inside, all destined perhaps to be under someone's tree.
Deputies went to that area, the Falcon area. They observed the vehicle they believed to be hit. Once they made a traffic stop, they observed several packages in the vehicle, and upon further investigation, the subjects in the van didn't completely know who everybody's package was. We actually had a lady come on the scene and identify one of her packages that had been taken off the porch. So we arrested those people, brought those items in here. So far we've had like 4 people come in and claim items, possibly from 3 different counties, and we're expecting several more subjects to come in. And each time a subject comes in and claims something, that will upgrade the charges. From right now they're charged with 4 counts, but we do expect several more accounts of the charges to be filed against these 2 individuals.
A van full, literally a van full of everything from dishes to clothing to toys to games, a coffee machine, a dive or a scuba suit, boxes and boxes of boots and other items, coats, monogrammed clothing, knives, and indeed the list and the visual goes on, even a cheesecake. All believed to have been taken from homes in Floyd, Johnson, McGoffin counties, most of them taken, they believe, possibly in broad daylight and from the porches or steps of homes where they were left by delivery men, shipped just in time for Christmas. These arrests, these suspects taken into custody, all these cases opened, all these items discovered, perhaps because they stopped at a residence where they thought no one was at home.
They probably weren't expecting anyone to be home, and my husband and I were actually home and parked in our garage, so I guess they didn't see a vehicle outside. But I was actually just right there in the living room beside the front door when I heard something move on the front porch. I actually thought it was probably an animal or something, and when I opened the door, that's when I found that the package was missing, and they were quickly leaving the driveway.
Arrested were 2 men, both from Johnson County. First, a Billy R. Auction of East Point, facing so far at least 2 charges of receiving stolen property, and as you heard, more charges are already pending. Also arrested was a second individual, a Jeremy R. Burchett from Depot Road in Paintsville. He, too, charged thus far with 2 counts of receiving stolen property. Sheriff Montgomery said there are already other charges in the works in McGoffin County as soon as more items are identified by their owners. More charges will be added, and that is also expected to be the case where these items were stolen from. Charges of theft, not just receiving, but theft of these items could and more than likely are pending in the counties that they were taken from. And with all of that, your Licking Valley RECC forecast will take us out on this Wednesday where temperatures aren't going to fall much. 54 right now, falling only a short distance to 50. We will see some showers rolling in later on, mainly after 1 a.m., I think, for most everyone. A south wind 3 to 7. Precipitation amounts maybe a quarter to maybe a half an inch of rain. So that's going to be some significant showers over the course of the overnight, late night, that is. And into maybe midday tomorrow, showers mainly before noon on your Thursday. Temperatures are going to fall. Like I said, we're going to see a low of 50 tonight. They'll fall to about a high of 44 tomorrow, if you can call that the high, technically, maybe. Anyway, that's by around 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll fall back to 44. Winds 5 to 7 in the morning. Mostly cloudy skies at the end of your Thursday, drying up. A slight chance of some snow showers. An upper-level disturbance could give us some snow showers Friday. A slight chance between 10 and 4. We will see partly sunny skies and a high of 38. Winds, breezy, gusts 5 to 16 miles per hour on your Friday. Saturday, things calming down, cooling off. 40 for your high, 23 for your low. More Christmas, a much more Christmassy feel in the air. Sunny skies, clear skies late on the first half of your weekend. And similar situations or circumstances for your Sunday. Sunny, 53, and a 20% chance of some showers late Sunday night. Right now, I've got temperatures Monday around 55, Tuesday right around 61, warming up. And I've got a 65-degree day right now on the eve of Christmas Eve, so don't see a white one in the forecast. And right now, we're leaning towards a warm one. More on that when I see you back next time. Simply put, as I referred to at the top of the program, absolutely more news than more than likely I'll be able to work into the rest of this week. All those meetings and other information that we'll try to get into the programming starting as soon as tomorrow. So like tonight and pretty much every other night of the last 17 years, weeknight that is, more news that you'll only see with me. As always, a sincere thank you for being a part of our program. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.